Good morning, guys, and welcome to Bears and Bulls. Today, we are going to learn how to trade with our second of three strategies using our momentum strategy. If you go back in our videos, you'll see that we have learned the bungee cord strategy, and today we will work on my second favorite one, the momentum strategy. So by now, you should be able to have your three resource websites that we use all set up. One being your TradingView, two being your FinViz, and three being your Yahoo Finance portfolio tracker. So for this strategy here, we're going to go back to TradingView and we're going to use those indicators that you have now put onto your charts. Again, I'm going to, up at the top there, I'm going to hit them. You maybe want to screenshot this if you haven't done it already, but you should have all those indicators into your chart. And we're going to use another one here to find our momentum trade. So let's get right into it. I've got 4 stocks set up here already. How to find the stocks for this is very easy because it really doesn't matter what the stock is. You don't need to do a screen. You can just simply what I do here is you see this is my watch list, all the yellow ones here. So these are just over the years. They're on the news. I kind of like their idea. I throw them in here. They're in a sector that I like. So I think oil's going to be strong the next little while. Trump talks a lot about drill, baby, drill. And so I do a little bit of research and I go find this one here, Calfrec Well Services, and they do well servicing, and I think, okay, well, maybe that one's going to be strong. And so really they're just all over the place. There'll also be lists that I will use, and we're going to talk about this one next time, but I might go in and find this will work on any stock. So go in and pull up the top 20 NASDAQ stocks and the top 20 Dow stocks, and put them into a list. Get some popular microchip stocks and throw that into a list. If your buddy tells you that housing, I think housing is going to be a really strong sector over the next couple of years, and your buddy tells you that housing is going to be strong, so then I jump in and I buy. I got some Black and Decker here, and some other stocks on over here. I think crypto related stocks are going to be strong for a long time, and I've got PayPal as one of my bigger holdings, and I think that's the way I play mostly crypto, is through secondary businesses like that I think will utilize payment systems with crypto. Again, just go and find a whole bunch of stocks and throw them on that list, because what we're doing here is we're trading with their momentum. We're not trading based on the value of their company, where we think it's going to go in 10 years, anything like that. We want to see what people are buying, and we want to jump on that train. And the way to think about this is when you're trying to find bottoms, like we did in our first strategy, you're trying to find it, you're getting on the train while it stopped. Or maybe, well, it stopped. And to get going again, the train's got to start up. It starts slow. It chugs away, and finally gets up to full speed. And that's why we see it a lot of times when we're doing our bungee cord trades. That, let me just put one up here, like this one here, that it's going to go sideways for a little while. That train needs to get up to some speed, and it's gonna, it's the train starting up here, and it's okay, gotta get going, and then hopefully it gets going. This strategy, we're not doing that. We're looking to jump on that train when it's going. And so this is, like in the movie. I just watched that movie. What is it, Bullet Train, the other day with Brad Pitt for the second or third time. What a great movie. And this is the guy running after the train, and jumps on the back, and he's going. That train's already going at a pretty good clip, and you're going to get there faster because you're jumping on that moving train. And that's what this one is. The momentum strategy is jumping on the moving train. So I pulled up 3 stocks here to take a look at, just basically on their charts for the momentum. I don't think I wanted that one in there. I don't know how that got in there. Let's take a look. Okay, so what we're looking for in this strategy, and that's the best example. Yeah, these are good examples. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to pull up this one here, new holdings, because this one has already done what we want. So I just want to show you what can happen when we do it properly. Now, I don't do this. A lot of the stock trading places you go to, they are always revisionists. They always go backwards and they very rarely go forwards. And I'm going to do a review on this one guy that I follow from Toronto, and he's on TikTok all the time. And he goes, "What if you had bought Google 10 years ago? Look how much money you'd have now. What if you had bought Amazon 5 years ago? Look how much money you'd have now." Well, who cares? What if? What if? What if? He doesn't give you any stocks to buy now. So for every Google, people have to remember, for every, say, Amazon there was 20 years ago, there was 99 other companies trying to do the same thing as Amazon, and where are they? They're all out of business. So it's only one out of 100 that made it. So revisionist history is absolutely useless. When it comes to this kind of stuff, but we can learn from the past, and so that's what we want to do a lot with this strategy, is learn from the past and apply it moving forward. So I'm going to show you right now what I would have done, actually I have done, and what I would have done with this stock, and then we're going to start applying it to new stocks, and that's where the real interest for you guys is what we do moving forward. So forget these guys that talk about what if. Look, it's absolutely ridiculous. Any day traders do that a lot. If you're on TikTok, you'll see a lot of day traders and stocks I'm looking at today, and they go in and they pick out, and it's easy to do. I go to Finviz. I'm going to show you how to do it. Go to Finviz and go to their main page, and here it is, right on their main page. Those are the top gainers of the day. Right over here, top gainers. INHD is up 260%. OPAD is up 136%. OSRH is up 96%. Now, I do day trade a little bit, and I play with these. But I certainly am not going to talk about it in this here, because I think that I do that just for enjoyment and fun. I make some money at it, but it's just not it's something that anybody should do. You're not going to make money at it overall. You might make a couple bucks, but it's just not worth it. I do it more as a hobby, as part of my day. But you'll see a lot of TikTokers, stocks I'm looking at today: INHD, OPAD, OSR up 260, up 130, up 96. Well, you know what? The market hasn't opened yet. It's only right. My time right now is just 9:20, 9:29. These have all moved in the pre-market, and so they're going to post right now that these are the stocks I'm looking at, and anyone looking at that quickly is going, "Oh my God, his picks are up 200%, 100. They're up crazy." He hasn't bought them yet. The market's not open. Unless he's doing pre-market trading, and he's not doing pre-market trading because the stocks wouldn't have been up in the pre-market for him to have bought. So it's ridiculous when you hear these guys say that. Don't listen to it. Stay away from it. So, getting back to what we're doing in our momentum strategy, you've got all your indicators pulled up, and we're going to use the bottom two indicators. I've expanded them here so it's easier to see. We're going to use the MACD and the MACDX on this side over here. And once again, the indicators, all these indicators will work fine for you. I've modified mine. So if my screen does not look the same as your screen, that's absolutely fine. I've modified these indicators to work for me, and I like the information I get off them. They'll still the standard modifiers will work for you. They'll just work for you in a bit of a different way. That's all. So don't worry too much about that right now. That's the least of your concerns. I have my indicator set up so that maybe I can ride momentum further than the standard indicators allow me to do. Maybe I can ride my momentum into my next strategy and even take more gains out of it. But they certainly won't affect your entry points too much, so don't worry about that. So what we're looking for in the momentum indicators, in a nutshell, is this. We're going to look at our MACDX strategy. We're going to look for a stock that's coming off of red and moving to green, and then gets the green flag buy signal. So that's what we're looking for. That's ideally showing us that the market doesn't like the stock throughout this period. There's something going on. The whole market in general doesn't like the stock. And then all of a sudden people are starting to buy it, and we go into strong green. This is the perfect example of what we're looking at. And so what we do in this strategy here is we would just scroll through our stocks until we see this kind of pattern going on. And then once we see that kind of pattern going on, we're looking for the green flag buy signal down at the bottom here. And that's our signal to buy. So right there is where we're buying, and then we're going to ride it for a little while. So our ideal take, if you remember from our last videos, are for these is 10 to 12% on these strategies. So that's 13, 18 we would have gotten in on. And let me, it's too early in the morning here for me, guys, so I'm going to just use my calculator. A 10% take would be 1449. So that is roughly here. And so you can see we've already, we would have already done that, maybe even taken that up here, because we don't want to get greedy. So maybe we would have taken it there. Who knows? But we're certainly close to having a take on this one. Two ways to do your takes. 10% to 10 to 12% just get out. The other thing we're looking for, and it's an indicator that the stock's starting to move the other way, is when we move from strong green into light green. Strong green blue here into light blue. What we're doing is that's okay to have one like that. If we go backwards, that's okay to have one like that. If we see two in a row, we're probably going to get out. And this is just showing that some of that momentum has dropped off, and we're not sure if we're moving like over here. We're not sure if we're moving back to a bad area, or we're just going to stall out for a bit. But what we do know is if we're going to stall out for a bit, we can probably go find another stock that is back in this area here that is in a strong movement upwards. So why sit on a stock that's stalling when we can go find another one that's starting to move forward? So we don't fall in love with our stocks. We just work right off the data, and we would probably get out. Now, if we can't find another stock we want to get in, chances are we can. There's thousands and thousands of stocks out there. Chances are we can find one we can get into. If we can't, maybe, and we, for whatever reason, we like this stock, maybe we'll sit on it past the next one. But we'll wait and see what happens with this one. Right now, yesterday was its first lighter color, and most likely, when I look at this, most likely that was profit taking. There's nothing to do with the stock itself. A whole bunch of people probably got in down here, and at $12, rode it up to $14. That's a nice little 20% take, and they're taking their some money off the table. So chances are what we're going to see is this kind of pattern here. You see a stock move up, people take profit, sits a little while, moves up again. Come down a little bit, people take profit, up it goes again. That's just a natural pattern of a strong stock market and a strong stock. You want to see it go higher each time. So you'll hear people talk about higher highs and higher lows. When a stock's doing well, there's the high, there's the high, there's the high. Those highs are higher each time. And that's what we want to see in a strong stock. So this is just a natural everyday pattern you're seeing here. And so that's great. So we're into the stock. We're making some money on it. We're at 10%. We're going to watch what the close is today and see if we get another light blue and a green. And what we're looking for is both of these signals together. If this one here closes today, if down to the bottom that closes on a dark green again, and this one closes on a light blue, we're sticking in the stock. We want the signal to sell, and we want a confirmation to sell. And so unless we're getting both, we don't sell. And let's see if we can just pop backwards and see maybe where that's happened in the past here. Yeah, here's where it's happened in the past. So if you look down here, so right here we got 3 lighter colors in a row, and we should be getting out on this second light one there. But look at this up top here, we did not get that signal. We didn't get a confirmation of that signal, so we didn't sell. If we had sold, we would have gotten out here, and we probably still would have had a nice little bit of a gain there. We would have probably had, what, 1026 up to 1098. We didn't lose money, made a couple percent. But because we didn't get the confirmation, we didn't sell, and we stayed in this stock and got our 10%. So our 10% line here would have been what, right around there. Okay, so we would have taken money here. We got in here, remember? Or we would have rode it until we got our sell signal down here. And so right here is the first time, okay, right here is the first time we got that two indicators in a row. We got the indicator and we got the confirmation. Light color, light color, light color, light color. And so maybe we would have gotten out around there, $13 versus $11. We got a couple extra bucks there, and that's what you'll get a feel of as you move along, and you can mix it up. There's no right or wrong answer there, guys. You know, there's just no right or wrong answer. Just go ahead and try both and see what works for you. Keep up with the news, keep up with the company a little bit if you get a feeling for the company. And so basically, you know, that's how we do our momentum trading strategy. It works on every stock in the world. Again, we use the same inputs on the daily, weekly, 4 hour as we use on the other one. And what we do is, if a stock is $10 or more, up to $100, we use the 1 day chart. Okay, so we're on the 1 day chart. I'm going to take all those drawings off. If it's more than $100, we use the 3 day chart. And it may or may not work the same on the 3 day. It certainly, so each one of these candles is a 3 day period versus a 1 day period. And you can see here you're using the 3 day chart. It's still possible to use it. Using the 3 day chart, we would have bought in here, and we got our sell signal here. So we would have lost on that one. Buy signal here, and we would have got our sell signal here. Didn't make any money on that one. So you can see it plays differently for whatever reason on the stock price. Again, just something I've developed over the years. I don't know why it works that way. I don't care. I just know that it does. So from anywhere from $10 to $100, we're going to use the 1 day as our trading, as our technical analysis charting. Charting is on the 1 day. And then you'll say the 3 day over $100. That's when we get into the bigger boys that we're going to talk about. And that would be the, let's just take Google, and let's take a look at, actually I got too many indicators on that one. So let's take a look at Home Depot. We're going to go to the 3 day. It's going to give us a nice looking chart pattern here, and then we're going to do the same concept. Is here would have been a buy signal. I'm going to show you the bad ones and the good ones, guys. As we talk more about this, I'm going to show you something here. So there's a buy. Okay, there's a sell. We would have almost gotten right out. 425 to 411. Didn't lose too much money. This is not a buy signal. I'm going to show you why. I'm sorry, guys. I should have mentioned this a little bit earlier. So we've got, again, we want the signal and we want a confirmation on our buys and our sells. A signal and our confirmation. Right here, there's the signal. We've got a strong green up here. That's our confirmation. It didn't work out too bad. There's our signal to do a buy. We have no confirmation here at all. It's still red and pink. No confirmation, no buy. So that is not going to be a buy for us. Come back down here. Signal, great. Green, great. Confirmation, buy. And we're going to get into this one, and this is what I mean about the time to get out now. Is there is our sell signal and confirmation on the sell signal, and we would have gotten out around there. So 357 to 366, a very small gain. You know, what are you going to do? It's not a loss. Let's wait for the next time. Because look what happens on the next time. Buy, signal to sell. 370 to 401. There's a nice take. Let's take a look what we got here. You know, this is the perfect pattern, what we're looking for here. You'll say, where's the green flag? When you go backwards too far, the indicators stop putting their flags up. So don't worry about that. But we probably would have got a green flag. Like, that's just perfect right here. You're coming off a very, you see how deep that red is? And it's moving upwards now. So deep down red, think about that train's going backwards, backwards, backwards. It's slowing down, starting to go forwards a little bit, and boom, it hits here, and look at it go. And then it takes off. So that would have been a great buy. These are the momentums we're looking to catch. We would have got that green flag there. We get a confirmation buy there. It's coming off a really backwards moving backwards, and boom, we are into it here. And then we ride it to probably here. So that would have been the way I played that one, because there's your second lighter green, lighter blue flag. And so we rode that from 290 to 337 from November 10th to December 15th. Less than a month. We rode it for a 18% gain. And then we get out. Now, we did miss a little bit of this. This is where my signals give me a little bit more information, and I start to take on a little bit more risk. So my signals might have said, you know what, there's a basic signal to get out, but hold on, just wait a second here. Let's just wait a second, and let's just see if it breaks this white line here. This white line gives me some more information. Let's just wait. The downside of this one is, you know, you've got your gain there. We talked about that natural stock pullback. Like, there's a natural stock pullback. What if this pullback here had happened after we had our, I think I can find that. Once you play around with this, trading view a little bit, there's lots of cool things you can do. But what if this pullback here had happened here? So there, look at that pullback. What if that had happened there? Well, the worst case, we would have got stopped out at, you're never going to take a loss on this one. So if we're up here and it starts to pull back, you will risk your money all the way back down to where you bought it, and then you're out. But in that case here, you would have taken the risk. You know, it's Home Depot. It's not going to where it's a great stock. It got up, for me, again, 12, 14% in 3 weeks. I'm taking it. Thank you. Goodbye. And I'll move on to the next stock. I'll wait for this one to do the same thing again. But if you had held it and it pulled back, you would have got out with zero. You didn't lose any money. That's the way to look at it. So that's why we don't just keep hanging on and hope we're going to get this movement here, because lots of times it just doesn't happen. I would rather get in here, get out there. We keep our stock on the radar. We look down here and look right roughly. Yeah, we didn't get strong signal there. Let's take a look. So down here would have been, we probably would have made a buy around here, and we would have sold here. So we would have, you know, again, you're not seeing the green flags yet. Very low red, so it's not coming off a big bottom. It's just been going sideways, so that's not a strong indicator it's going to move in. You know, if it's almost like our bungee, you know, if the higher you up when you jump off the bridge, the bigger the bounce back you get. You're going to come up. So you can think of like these big ones down here is jumping off a massive bridge, and then you get a big bounce back. This one's just dropping off a small bridge, and you're not getting much of a bounce back, but you're getting a little one. So we wouldn't have got a buy signal there because we're not coming off. We're not under. We don't have red moving up. So here we have red moving up, and right there is kind of a nice spot. So we probably would have been buying in there. You can see we probably would have got a green flag signal somewhere around here. We got a confirmation buy here. We would have bought there, and we very quickly would have been out there. So we wouldn't have lost any money there. Probably would have got in there. We got out very quickly there, so wouldn't have made any money there, and made a couple of bucks here, and then we made some bucks here. So over the course of this period here, from November of 23 up to now, we would have taken 12%. small loss there, 3 or 4%, 8%, and then we've taken 3% and 12%, so 15, 25. So we would have done 22% on Home Depot um, from the end of 23. Let's just say 24 to 25. 1.5 years, we would have done 25% on Home Depot with almost no risk. Now people are going to say, oh, well, 22% in a year on Home Depot. Look how much Home Depot moved up. Right. But keep in mind that we were only involved out of the year and a half. We were only involved with this stock for November to December, 1 month, a couple of days, another month. So we were only involved with the stock for 2.5 months out of 1.5 years. So we made our 22 or 25% in 1.5 months of holding Home Depot. While our money wasn't in Home Depot, we had it in other stocks, also doing the same kind of stuff. So that's the way to look at it. We've got our money at work for us at all times. We made 22, 23, 24, 25% on 6 weeks of holdings of Home Depot. That's why it works. Then we take that, while the money's not in Home Depot, we've got it in Costco, we've got it in Tesla, we've got it in Google, Amazon, we've got it in something else doing the same thing. So we're out of, now we're out of Home Depot and we're into Amazon. We're out of Amazon and we're into AMD. We're out of AMD and we're into Microsoft. Whoever's showing us that chart, we're watching Microsoft Shark now. Look at this. This is another great example of, there's our green flag buy. There's our confirmation. We're in, and we rode it from, what are we at here? 386 to 440, and then we're out. Yeah, we missed that. But while we took our 386 to 440, and then we put it into Meta, and we got the same thing out of them, and then we took it out, we put it into Broadcom. So that's the beauty of doing this, is you're not riding the downside all the time. People say, oh, set it and forget it. Buy your stock and forget it. No, we're buying our stock. We're taking our money out when when we take some profit, and then we're putting it into another stock that's going to do the same thing. And we're compounding and compounding and compounding our advances. And that's what this beauty of this strategy. And it also gives you an out strategy. I always say this. It's so easy to buy. It's just, I'm going to take these off here right now. But it is so easy to buy, but it's hard to sell. And selling is the key to keeping your money and your wealth. We're going to go to a bigger view here and and show you how that works. So we're in here. Let's just say that we would never trade on the maybe on the week view, and then we get a sell signal up here. But instead of we're avoiding all of this. That's what we missed by selling there on our second signal. We got a signal to sell, we got a confirmation to sell, we got out. We missed all of this. That's why these strategies work. We limit our downside issues. Now you have money put aside to do stuff. You could buy back into this one if you don't exactly agree with what I'm saying. You can say, okay, I put $1,000 in at $1.75. I took my 20%, so now I've got 12. I cashed out here, so now I got $1,200. We know Broadcom's going to go back up again, so maybe we start just watching this a little bit. Red, red, red. Oh, we got a little pink down here. Little pink. Okay, little pink. Little confirmation that maybe it's changing around. Maybe it's changing around here. So we pop down to the 3-day. Okay, let's take a look. Nothing there. Nothing there, really. Okay. But you know what we're gonna see? I bet you any money, like if we might have combined our bungee cord strategy here with this one, right? And we might have seen, we didn't get one here, but we might have seen one of our bungee cord signals come up here. Or we see this, we see light colors, light colors, light colors. It looks like we're changing direction a little bit. Now, we sold out at 240. We've got all our money from selling out at 240. Maybe we throw something back in here. Maybe something's going on. So maybe we start averaging back in down here around 158, 175, 197. All price points that are well below what we sold out at. And so we're increasing our risk a little bit, but we're going to increase our reward a lot more. So here's our buy strategy signal right here. We got our buy signal, buy confirmation, and we buy. But we put a little bit of money in down here too, a little bit, 156, 178. We put a little bit of money in, and now we've got our buy signal. Now we put the rest of our money in right here. So if we bought here and here, our average price in now is where that white line is. We've averaged in at 180 with our last buy at 225. Now look where we're going on this one. We don't get a sell signal again till here. There's a double light green, double lighter blue. That's our sell signal. So now we've our on this one we got in our average price at 180. We're sitting at 287 now. So boy, what a take there! Like by averaging down a little bit, as you get used to these strategies, you can start combining them, and you can start getting a little bit more advanced with your own input. So that's why I love these strategies as well. I'm teaching you the initial strategies, but as you get comfortable, you can start building on those yourself and doing it ways that you want to do to even increase your returns. And so, what a great May of 25 to July of 25, May, June, July, 3 months. In 3 months, we made what on this one? 180. Sorry, calculator again, guys. Plus. So in 3 months, we made 60% on this deal. 60% in 3 months. Take this chart, remove all the drawings, go back and do some back testing yourself, and you'll see it happen over and over and over again. Back test it. Do it. Just pretend trade back here, pretend trade here, pretend trade here. You'll see it happen over and over and over again. I've done it with Amazon myself. I've been doing Amazon for years, and I've caught the good sides on Amazon. Right now, I'm doing it with Alibaba. And look at it. Okay, perfect. I didn't look at this one. Look what we're getting with Alibaba right now. And so again, stocks over $100. We're looking at them on the 3-day chart. Alibaba got a signal here. It wasn't a strong signal because it wasn't really far down. This would have been a strong signal coming in here, but we didn't get one. But Alibaba, I've been doing this for a while, and so what I did with Alibaba is way back here is I did an awful lot of buying with Alibaba on this signal here. There's our buy signal, there's our confirmation, and we're in. And I rode Alibaba pretty well. I took some profits at I took a little bit of profit around 12%, right around there. But I didn't take it all out. I just liked the way it was moving and the way it was going. So I left a whole bunch in. And I left the balance in. So again, this is the other way you can do it. I took 50% of my money, a little bit less than 50% of my money in here, and I let the rest ride till I got a sell signal down here, which you can see didn't happen to. There's my light green. There's my light green. There's 2 in a row light blue. So now I've got here I would have got my sell signal, but I didn't get a confirmation here because it was dark. Then I got another sell signal here, but I've only got 1 light color. There's my another sell signal here, and there's 2 light in a row. So now I'm selling 2 light in a row, and you can see what happened right after I sold. It came back down. It works time after time again, guys. So I sold half my money here, and I sold the other half here. So from 101 to 136. And then we got that drop back down. I still like this stock, so I'm like, okay, I'm still going to watch it. I'm going to wait for something here to happen. It hit my bottom. Take these off here, guys. So it hit my bottom here, around here. It looks like, big drop off. Okay, that's a really big drop. So I'm just showing you how I look at things. Big drop there. Okay, what's this? And we just talked about this. On the 3-day, in our bungee cord strategy, is this not what we're looking for? In our bungee cord strategy, a fast drop, and then a little indicator that it's moving backwards again. Then we drop down to the day. So this is on the 3 day. We're seeing that fast drops and potentially something happening at the bottom there. And then look what we got. Look what we got. Beautiful. We've got our green bungee cord buy signal. Inside of the yellow, this is just an absolute perfect example of what can happen when you do things right. We got inside the circle our buy signal. So we took all that money that we cashed out on and we started putting it back in here. So I think I put half back in there. And half back in on the bungee signal. And then I was saving the other half for when I got a momentum strategy signal. And you can see here I didn't get it. I didn't get a momentum strategy signal till right here. And even that was not a strong signal, because if I'd got a signal here, you can see it's coming off a deep red and back to pink. That would have been a really nice signal there to get, but it didn't happen. So this stock didn't move. You know how many people bought in this area here, and with no signal, and look what happened. It just went sideways for a long time. That's fine. I like Alibaba. It's going to be around for a long time. I wouldn't mind putting money in. If I put money in there, I just wouldn't have taken it out. And actually, I haven't taken it out. I'm just riding this one. I think this is going to be a massive stock. So just ride it sideways, but it certainly would have been money that wasn't doing anything for you. And then we got a signal here, but you can see it was just like very light, small moves. Then we got a buy signal. That's not a strong buy signal, so I probably wouldn't have hauled off. My only buy on Alibaba would have been here. And because we are using the bungee cord strategy, and our takes are 10 to 12%, using strictly the bungee cord strategy, I would have bought for 100. Look at this. And I would have been out here. So I would have bought here and I would have been out there. So I made a quick just over 10% on Alibaba from April 9th to April 17th. 1 week, 10-12% on the bungee cord strategy, like we talked about earlier. What a way to combine strategy, to combine ways to buy and sell and make some money. So that's just a great example. I didn't expect that to show like that, but a great example of what how to combine strategies to even just keep compounding that money. So that is our momentum trading strategy in a nutshell. And I know it takes a bit to get your head around, so pull up TradingView and do it yourself for a little while, and just keep playing and playing and playing. One other thing I'm going to show you on this one, and this is actually something that I've developed over time. Bottom right corner, you'll see this box, okay? And when we talk about advanced strategies, we're going to utilize this box more. But what this box tells you is the success ratio of when you get a green signal here, and on just the left you get a sell signal there. I use the buys. I don't use the sells very often, because I find the sells are usually telling you to sell at the very bottom. So I ignore the sells. Forget that. The buys are the one that are interesting to me. 50% of trades, when you buy them here, will be successful. And the average gain loss is 24% when you buy them there. I don't care about the average gain loss, because I am not selling when it's telling me to. What I want to know is the 50% are successful. If I buy here, over half of the trades that I do will be what they consider successful, making money. I want to use that number there. And so I developed a whole list of, on the right hand side, my highest winner percentage buys. And what I do there is I add on to that list with any companies that I see that are having decent success rates here, down here. And so my first set of my first list of stocks are on the right hand side there, and all of these I know are fairly successful in their success ratios. Now you'd say, well, 40% is not successful. 44%, 50% is what I'm looking for as a minimum number there, because you got to remember, I'm combining that number with everything else I'm doing. Okay, I don't need that number, but everything else I'm doing is giving me the information I need to make a buy or sell. It would be nice to do it with a stock that has a higher number. It's just one more variable that will give me the edge to trade. So 44% there. Wolf, actually, I gotta get rid of Wolf. I don't like Wolf. Um, we're taking that one out because it's no longer successful. 75% on Oklo. I love Oklo. Energy, nuclear energy stock. 63% on HSAI, and so on and so on and so on. It'll just keep going. 10% on. Now you can look at these again. I'm on the day. Sometimes they'll be successful on the 3 day and not on anything else. Again, I am removing this one from this list because excuse me, it's not showing. I don't know how it got on there. So, anyways, that's just one more factor you can build in. So, guys, there's some information. I'm gonna start looking for some buys we can add into our into this portfolio. I think I identified maybe 2 potential ones right here. Yes. So here's 2 potential buys we're going to be looking at. Look out for our trade alerts that will be posted every time we buy and sell on TikTok and YouTube. And the first one you're probably going to see is today is going to be on XRX. And you can see XRX. XRX does not have a high percentage trade, but that's okay. I don't care right now. You can see it's coming off a massive low, which we love. And now it's moving up to the green. And now we're getting a warning sign that we're getting ready to get a green buy signal. So it gives us this little warning sign. So when I screen all my stocks every day, I look for that warning sign and I put it on my close buy list. Okay, so and then once I buy it, I move it up to my buy section. So that is number 1 right now, my close buy list, and I bet you we'll be buying that one today. AI is another one, and look at this AI, massively going underneath, just starting to move up into a buy signal area. We've got our warning sign, keep an eye out here. We got our first green, and we got a very sharp declining pink, and we expect that to go green as well. Back to AI, yeah, see, here we have a green, and we got our first green there. And so this would be the first one on my list. This would be the second one on my list. So keep your eye out for trade alerts. You will, XRX and AI, you're going to take those, you're going to go over to your stock portfolio and create a new portfolio, create it manually, and you're going to make a momentum list so you can paper trade those and get an idea of how things work. All right, guys, thanks very much for joining us. Another good learning video on our second stock strategy, the momentum strategy. So now we have the bungee cord strategy number 1, momentum strategy number 2, and our next one's going to be the big dog strategy, and that'll be number 3. And it'll give you 3 strategies for trading in the longer term, the medium term, the shorter term, and do it with confidence that not only are you going to make money, but you're not going to get caught on the short side and lose a lot of money if the market turns down. It's going to get you out quick and protect your capital. So we will see you again, guys. As always, follow us on TikTok, follow us on YouTube as we try to build this channel and create a group with a real positive environment on working with each other and sharing ideas, and at the end of the day, making us all take control of our money and build towards wealth. Thank you very much.